But either way, I'm going to keep throwing them off. What's going on YouTube? Achilles here, and today we have an Esper Blink deck I put together. This is a hybrid version of my Orzhov Blink deck, but this time we're playing blue in the forms of the good old Stormchaser's talent combo with This Town Ain't Big Enough, which is an engine of its own, honestly. And on top of that, we have Fear of Isolation, which has been seeing a lot of play, but the real MVP for this build specifically is Get Out, because not only does it act as a counterspell, but you could bounce one or two target creatures and or enchantments you own to your hand. So that enables a lot of different things. But the main core of this deck, besides the whole blue engine, is Temporary Lockdown. And when I say that, it's because we play a lot of cards like Hopeless Nightmare, Bandit's Talents, Nowhere to Run, Tithing Blade, and they all get a enter the battlefield effect. Then eventually we temporary lock down our field, and then we bounce the temporary lockdown back to our hand with a bunch of different cards like Get Out, Nurturing Pixie, This Town Ain't Big Enough, and after that we get to reactivate all our cards and get a lot of value. And with Wishclaw Talisman, we could search for our missing piece, such as Temporary Lockdown or one of the cards to bounce it, and then we could just get our Wishclaw Talisman right back after we do a little combo. But this deck is definitely a menace for our opponent if they can't figure out how to get through and do damage. But let's get right into this list. We got 4 Nurturing Pixie, 4 Stormchaser's Talent, 4 Hopeless Nightmare, 1 Fear of Isolation, 4 Get Out, 4 Bandit's Talent, 4 Nowhere to Run, 4 Tithing Blade, 1 Wishclaw Talisman, 4 Temporary Lockdown, 4 This Town Ain't Big Enough. For the lands, we got 1 Plain, 1 Swamp, 1 Abandoned Campground, 1 Adarkar Wastes, 4 Seachrome Coast, 2 Caves of Koilos, 4 Concealed Courtyard, 2 Neglected Manor, 4 Darkslick Shores, 1 Murky Sewer, and 1 Underground River. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and if you want to become a member, you can get early access to videos as well as member shoutouts. Let's get right into these games. Opponent goes first. Not bad of a hand though for us. If we get like 1 more land, we'll be good. But Wishclaw Talisman gets us temporarily locked down when we need it. There goes our little otter. There's a lot of thinking going on right now. Yes, the most powerful one draw. Alright, so this isn't the worst case scenario, especially when I draw another Nowhere to Run. Because we were going to do this either way, but now we got another one, so we could do this to the next creature. But honestly, we really need that 3rd land. This deck doesn't need that many lands to do what it needs to do, but having at least 3 or 4 is where we want to be. There's our land. Look at that, we're exactly at 13 life. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to use another Nowhere to Run. And we're going to use Nurturing Pixie to bounce Nowhere to Run back to our hand. So we are ready for the next threat that they present to us. And what's so crazy is that Get Out is literally just Nurturing Pixie, but as an instant, but with, you know, a couple more modes, and it just all just synergizes very well with one another. Here's our fourth land. That's important. Do we worry about anything? Yeah, I think we just start playing stuff. We have to use the Wishclaw Talisman very tactically in order to really get the most of the effects of everything. But we'll see. I mean, honestly, if they just throw out a creature, I pay 1 mana, and then I get temporary lockdown, and then put everything under it, that might be a move. And then I just... yeah, you know, that might be good, but I could always go Nowhere to Run. There's so many ways to go about it right now. Where's our 5th land? Just in case they have a spell to increase the power and or toughness, we could do that, just so we can make sure we get rid of it. Can't go wrong with another one. Well, that's a nice interaction, which is, it kind of acts as an alternative way to reoccurring Stormchaser's talent, but if you don't have, whatchamacallit, this town ain't big enough, you could use Get Out as a way to bounce back your Stormchaser talents too. And the best part is you could do up to 2 targets, including your creatures, on top of your enchantments, so there's so much stuff going on. Especially now since I got Hopeless Nightmare. This is one of the best cards to bounce. So it's going to do damage as well as discard. Do it like this. Then next turn we could get our Get Out back to our hands, if need be. It's too late for the Kellen, because Nowhere to Run's going to get rid of it. This is it. Okay, we get to go first. I'll keep this. So now all we gotta do is get a way to bounce temporary lockdown, and we could do a whole bunch of plays. That's something. You know what? Let's see what they do. And then I might end up countering something. But I feel like that's better. I got something I liked. Okay, I had to really think that through, but I think this is the right way, because I'm just going to turn off all their cards and then just keep my cards not under this temporary lockdown, because reoccurring this temporary lockdown would be bad. So I'm just going to pretend this card does not exist and we could play around it. I mean, sure, they could just use their own, this town ain't big enough, but I think we're going to be okay. First things first, though, let's use this Hopeless Nightmare. Oh, see, they had it. They were ready. But then we're gonna do it again. So now they can just use their land as a way to do something, but I'm gonna try to make it hard for them. That's a start. So now we're set up pretty nicely. Okay. They don't have another. Oh, now they got their island. But we still get it. Alright, we get to go first, and this is a pretty solid hand, even though we don't have any planes or anything like that. Can't be discouraged. And if anyone's wondering why I have stuff like Murky Sewer in here or whatever, it's because at first I had a lot of lands that did 1 damage to you to play the land, and it got a little out of hand because I keep reoccurring cards, and I'm going to be using those lands again, so instead, I know I'm going to go against a lot of aggro decks, so these lands make a little bit more sense to me. In theory, of course, but maybe the Surveil land is a better choice, but this has the potential to come in untapped, so we're doing this. Okay. I'm gonna have to do it this way. No white mana sources. It's fine. Oh, well, guess they didn't think so. I like this hand. Pretty decent start. Maybe we need a card that has some kind of removal or something with hand destruction, but for now, this will work. Neglected Manor. Looks in pretty good condition to me, honestly. Okay, so we got another land. Play this because, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm going to use this turn, but if our opponent plays something good enough, we could just bounce, which isn't a bad play, but all depends on what they do. Nothing. Interesting. Other lands. Big shock. Alright, this otter is going to have to win for me. 19 more attacks. Well, 18 more if this goes through. Here goes our win con. I'm joking, of course. We got this. I just don't know what they're playing, and we really need to stop drawing lands. If we draw another land, it's actually really bad. That is great, actually. Might as well do this now. Okay. We go double Stormchaser's talent. I mean, the good part about drawing all these lands, though, is once you get to the mid-game, just bouncing and reoccurring this town ain't big enough, but this is good, so, you know, it's not the worst-case scenario. It's just we need one extra mana in this specific scenario to really make an impact. But we'll just get this card back to our hand. That's actually really nice. Okay, I want them to block. They're probably not. Really? Oh, that's fine, actually. Alright, so check this out. I'll get to use my Stormchaser talents again, since I could bounce. So we're good. Get to keep the board nice and clear. So now they go Kaido, because they have nothing else to do.
Don't worry, Pom-Pom-John. I've got this. I've got you beat 6 different ways.
So what we're going to do now is target that, target this, get a nice bounce back. And just because nothing's going to go on their turn probably, I'm just going to get this back to my hand to have 2. So now they do it again because they literally are just trying to find cards to help them out right now. If I get really precise about how I do it, I could temporary lockdown Tithing Blade underneath. And, well, I mean, temporary lockdown, get Tithing Blade underneath the temporary lockdown, and then, while that's a creature on their turn, I could bounce it back, bring that out, and they have to sacrifice the Kaido. But, gotta figure out how I want to do it. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting choice. But, either way, I'm gonna keep throwing them off. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Tell me what you think of the deck in the comment section down below. Please like the video and subscribe if you have not already, and if you're new here, just know I have new videos coming out every day. If you want me to try out any deck in particular, let me know also in the comment section down below as well. And on that note, take care everyone. Have a great day.